Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. After a long time of waiting and Ilia's memory and looking for letters and just all sorts of crap, we get to finally go to our next temple, which is in the heavens, so this should be really interesting. So without any further ado, go ahead and get into this cannon, and none other than Miss Uku is going to come with us. And what's really cool about this cannon is it actually has feet. It's almost like a little person. Let's go! Alright, so... Wow. So there really is a city in the sky. That's certainly interesting. She floats like a duck. It's kind of funny. Is this the place you were looking for, Uku? Whew, gracious, we made it back, finally. Welcome, adventurer. This is the sky city of the Uka. Since you came all this way, I guess I can give you a tour of the city. Yeek! Oh, giant dragon, how do you do? That must scare away the tourists, I can imagine. Big ominous dragon. Oh god, there's more of you. It's so frightening. Oh. Oh goodness, brave adventurer, you won't believe it. There's a dragon raging outside the city walls. You don't say. Oh, I'm terribly worried about everyone. I'm going to check in that shop for survivors. Alright. So, here we are, everybody. This is the city in the sky, which is the city of the Uka. So, yeah, if you're like me and Uku's face kind of gives you nightmares, then this will probably not be a good dungeon to watch before you go to bed. Because, yeah, there's a lot of Uku around here. So, you know, that's fun. Before I do anything, I'm just going to grab these chests. I will say now that this dungeon is probably the longest in the game. It's also one of the most frustrating, time-consuming, and most annoying. I do not like this temple at all, but I will not complain because I complain enough, and it is an interesting sort of design and layout, and, you know. The only thing I don't like about it is that it seems really out of place. I didn't find this temple to be necessary at all. It kind of just, you know, stalled the game's ending, and I just feel they could have left it out. But that's just my opinion, so... Let's go check to see where Uku went, first of all. Before we actually go into the temple itself. I don't know who did the interior design for this shop, but it's very poor taste. You can also see they've got little replicas of the cannons in here. So here is Uku and her little son, Uku Jr. Sorry for earlier, adventurer. That's okay. Oh, but you're planning on walking around the city and taking it in, right? I'm worried about the others, and this is an emergency. I can't just stand around waiting. Please take me too. I won't help you warp to the surface, but I will bring you back to the shop anytime. Oh, thank you, Uku. I appreciate it. So we get Uku for the final time, and I still haven't used her. I might use her just to show off her use. But anyways, you can buy some stuff at the store if you want. They've got some potions which might be useful, some lantern oil, some bombs, and some arrows. So remember that if you use her, she'll warp you back here to the start. So with all that information in tow, let's get started. There is wind in this dungeon, obviously, because it's in the sky, so there's going to be certain areas where you can actually get blown off, and you will fall down into the abyss. You can see here the wind's going to blow this way. And so you need to be very careful, because you do not want to get blown off, and you do not want to have to restart, you know, wherever it is that you are at. See, this isn't so bad because it's blowing this way, but sometimes it'll blow the other way, and I could get knocked into, like, those cracks right there. So, anyways, to open up this door, I'm going to need to hit this with my claw shot. Of course, I'm not close enough. Of course! Why would I be? That's just too convenient, isn't it? Hit this switch. There we go. Open up the door, and this is the door that opens the actual city, so let's get going. it's kind of strange because it's not, I don't know, to me it's not really a city, it's just a big disjointed mess that's floating in the sky somehow. But again, interesting concept, but I will leave it up to you guys to decide whether or not you like this temple by the end of it. Or for those of you who have played, you can feel free to let me know if you liked this temple in the comments, or, you know, whatever it is you want to do. So, yeah, lots and lots and lots of the Uku, and you will need them for parts of the temple. So, what you can do is you can actually grab onto them like you can with regular Kukos, and you can use them to fly. These blue blocks will sink under Link's body weight, so you need to be really, really careful about that. These yellow ones, they won't sink, they're solid blocks. There's also, I think, pink ones that don't sink either, so just be careful of the blue blocks. Excuse me. And be prepared for a little bit of animal cruelty here, because you can actually claw shot onto the top of their heads and, like, bring them to you. I don't know. I find that really cruel. I mean, you need to use them and you need to be able to get access to them, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me, I suppose. So all you need to do there, very simple, nothing to pick up. Just come across to the other side. And this is your central room where everything will kind of connect. It will connect all the parts of the temple. So, you think just because we're in the central room it's a short temple, but it is definitely not in the least bit. So we won't be able to go this way because there's no possible way we can get to the door right now. North, there's a big giant fan that's not moving and we need to get it to move. So we're going to go to the east first. However, we're going to need a key. So you can see over there, there's a hole they're able to go through. Wrong button. What you can do is you can claw shot onto the grating. Any grating in this temple you can claw shot onto and go over here. And it will bring you to another part of the temple. Now this is what I think this is what threw me off the first time I played this game, because I went through the doors and I couldn't figure out why I needed a key and I couldn't find it, and it was really frustrating. But yeah, you actually need to come over here, which is a little out of the way and a little unexpected, so just be on the watch for that. You need to use your spinner and create this bridge, which we will need to go over to. You can use your claw shot to grab onto the ivy. Claw shot is huge in this dungeon. You'll probably use it throughout the entire dungeon, so you'll want to be sure to have that on your item screen, or your button, excuse me. There's a lot of stuff that you go into your item screen and, you know, change around. There's lots of items that are used in this temple. So we'll probably do some item switching and some transforming and all that good stuff, so. Alright, so in this room, we'll be coming back here later, so just remember its location. Just 2 claw shot targets on the roof. We only need to use the one on the left right now. Using the one on the right does absolutely nothing. But if you go to the one on the left, it will give us our first small key, which is needed to advance any further in the dungeon. So, once we've done that, now it's just a matter of backtracking. There's nothing to do in here. But if you look down, you can see there's some targets on the walls, and there's also an area way over there, but we'll be coming back here later, so one thing at a time. Got our key, so let's go. Alright, so seems simple so far, right? Well, there's going to be a little bit of an inconvenience here as we go to leave, of course. Couldn't just make things easy for Link, because that would just be too easy. That pesky dragon will be back, and bam. So yeah, hope you guys didn't leave any of your prized possessions in that room or anything, or you needed to get anything, because we won't be going back there for a while. So luckily, if you don't have the key. You have to get it to advance. So it's not like the dragon will knock the bridge and you'll never be able to get the key. So don't worry about that. Don't freak out too much about it. Don't step on the blue blocks. Instead, just go ahead and claw shot over to this ivy. But don't do what I did. Don't cut it too close. I guess I could probably stand on one of the blocks and go a little higher this time. There we go. I learned from my mistakes. That's what's also really frustrating about this temple, is if you do fall down, which obviously this temple has a lot of chance to fall down into the open sky, it usually puts you back at the last door you were in or at the start of the room or something, which, you know, can be very, very frustrating depending on how much progress you've made in a room, so just keep that in mind. Watch your step. The music in this place is also really weird. I really like Zelda music in general, but this is one of these soundtracks I could really just do without. This is just one of these music types in the temple I'm just really not a fan of. I don't know why. It's boring, and this temple in itself is boring enough. It's kind of like the long, winded, everything takes longer than it has to, bland, boring temple. I really felt they could have given it at least some like interesting sort of music to listen to while you're waiting. But anyways, it's just something I noticed. Oh crap! Now, if you actually do get blown off the edge, and you do, and Link's holding on to the edge, as long as you don't let go, you're safe. So I wouldn't worry about putting on your iron boots right away if you don't get the opportunity to do so. One of the key things with this temple is taking your time. And if you take your time and survey your surroundings and kind of look and think outside the box, it's really not that difficult. First thing we're going to do is get rid of this annoying Helmasaur, because they are, you know, kind of annoying. And you need to go ahead over here and hit this crystal that's on the wall, which will turn off that fan, which we will need. I have something in my throat, I don't know why. But yes, if you want to, you can put on your iron boots, but I don't. I just kind of stand by the fan and quickly roll, and I'm fine. You want to get rid of this Helmasaur though, because he can knock you into the fans, which can be really irritating. Don't walk across this bridge. If you put your iron boots on, these blocks will sink twice as fast, and if you don't put them on, then you're going to get blown over the edge. So what you need to do is just claw shot over to the ivy. Beautiful. Make it across the other side, no problem. And before we go to that path that was open for us, we're going to come over here, and we're going to collect our first major chest, which, you know, as always in almost every single temple we visit, is going to be none other than the dungeon map. So, now that we have the dungeon map, let's take a look at it. This temple, just like the Temple of Time, is very, very big. It's got quite a few floors. I think it's got 8 total. And as you can see, it's very, very, very random, very, very disjointed. So there's going to be a lot of sky type areas, you know, not a lot of solid ground for Link to put his feet on. So you'll definitely see that pattern as we go further in the temple. So we'll go down to this big room here, and then I will stop the video. And I really don't know how many videos I'm going to be in here for, everybody. I think I'll probably be in here for 3 or 4, because like I said, it is a very long temple, and if I'm failing all over the place, it will take me, you know, an especially long time. But more jumping and wind and death and puzzles in the Sky Temple in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.